Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Warning. The following podcast may occasionally contain strong language and material that is not suitable for all ages. If you are easily offended, it is highly advised that you turn back now. However, if you're a degenerate, welcome, brethren. You've found your home.
Welcome to the Crime Diner. We're a Jersey podcast, and on the menu is a variety of true crime, cults, mysteries, historical hilarities, and sometimes victim stories. We do this within a Dinner with Friends theme. I'm Nydia.
I'm Dana.
And I'm Cindy.
So last week, we were all sick with COVID. COVID was plagued upon our homes.
Yeah.
And we had to throw out a lifeline.
Yeah.
So as not to leave our listeners flat.
Our beautiful, beautiful listeners.
Yes. So we ran a taste test.
Yes.
Okay. It was an episode of just like a little taster of what we have for you over on Patreon. And we apologize for that, honestly, because that was not our best.
It wasn't?
I mean, it was just like, there was
vulgar.
a lot of laughing,
Yeah.
a lot of cursing.
Yeah, Patreon's a lot more...
Loosey-goosey.
Loosey-goosey is a very good word. Yeah.
And
we're just having a good time over there.
And so basically what we do is we react. We have reaction videos about documentaries or movies or things, basically listener requests, and we just honor those requests and we react to them.
Yeah. Plus we drink without food, so that can be.
Oh. And it's not just a reaction, it's also a full recap of whatever we're watching. So
Exactly.
you kind of don't always have to watch it.
Right.
Because we kind of recap it, but you get a full reaction of what we watched as well.
Exactly. So we reacted to and discussed the Netflix documentary Murder Among the Mormons.
Right.
And, yeah.
There's a lot to be said.
There was so much said.
Yeah. And I learned a thing or two. I learned about soaking.
The second time around, yeah.
So if you want to learn about soaking, stay tuned to that.
Go check it out.
Yeah, go back and check it out. So today I'm going to tell you a story that will mess with you in the way that the movie Psycho had us all checking behind the curtains, the shower curtains.
You seem so excited about this.
This was a listener request. One of our listeners, Emma, requested this.
You're just out here granting wishes left and right. My
know?
God.
Yeah, I'm like the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
You're something. You're something. Now, I must say, we don't know Emma personally, but Emma is, I would say, a superstar in the Facebook group. So if Emma's making a suggestion...
She's like the fourth member of... She could be the Facebook... If this ever blew up, she would be our Facebook moderator,
admin moderator, yeah.
But she would need a moderator herself, too. Because some of the shit that I'm like... Yeah, that's Emma. I don't even... I'll start reading it, and I'll be like, oh, that's Emma.
Yeah, she's got a lot of, interesting theories and thoughts, and so if she suggested a story, I am very excited about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and every post that she puts, I am reading every word.
Yes.
Because it is chef's kiss every time she posts.
We're a fan.
She's a poet laureate, really.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that story and the recap and scare the living shit out of you because I promise you it will. But first, the food. Let us pray. Bless us, O patrons, for these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy donations through Patreon every month under the power of the V podcast.
Cult.
This smells like green beans and some kind of brown meat.
I am doing a sandwich. But
she pronounced the D and everything.
I did, because it's a surprise ingredient.
Okay, all right.
For the sandwich.
Oh my God. She did it. She went there. Bro, you didn't.
I did.
What is it?
This is like my fucking favorite, one of my favorite things to eat.
What is it?
Is it like it looks like such a pain in the ass
patty.
to make. Go ahead, tell her.
It's not bread.
Yeah.
It is fried plantains, tostones. Some people call it patacón.
Oh, fuck.
But we have so many names for it. But this is basically a sandwich. I'm using the words.
Wow, I'm so proud of you.
Pronouncing and enunciating.
Enunciation.
I well, Danny did. But I seasoned that bitch. Don't get it wrong. It's pork roast, slow roasted with purple onions, lettuce.
I believe those are red onions.
Red onions. They look more purple to me.
They are purple, but
I know. I don't care. They're purple. A Jersey tomato, lettuce, and it's plantains smashed, fried, and made into kind of like the bread. Oh. And then I made a mayo ketchup, and the mayo ketchup that we use is a combination of mayo, ketchup, minced garlic, and I added a little bit of freshly ground pepper to it.
Oh my god.
Can we eat this? Can we stop talking about it?
That's the food.
Oh my god, it looks so good. No, enough.
Let's eat.
Bitches.
Well, first of all, why'd you pick that food?
The surprising thing was the bread that wasn't the bread.
She made it like a surprise food.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Which I guess has something to do with your story.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, like, she made these plantains as the bread.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't,
That's
like,
keto.
pick it up. Yeah, right? I couldn't really pick it up. I ended up getting a fork, but,
yeah.
Oh my god.
That was so good.
It was fantastic.
I mean, y'all really cleared your plates.
Oh, I went back and got more. I was like, oh, there's not enough meat for my plantains. I'm like, oh, now there's too much tomato. I need more tomato to match this meat.
Oh, and those tomatoes, they were Jersey tomatoes. But, oh my god, they were so good.
Something was a little spicy. I guess it was the mayo with the fresh garlic. Oh my god, so good, so good.
Yeah, I don't cook out that garlic. That garlic has to have.
It has a little kick to it. Yeah, certainly.
I would call it a bite.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
And then we have Moscato wine. We had a Cellar $15.99, which is probably the price of the wine, or less. This is a Moscato. It was very sweet.
I love it.
Counteracted with the saltiness and the spiciness, and I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked it.
It tastes like Capri Sun, honestly.
It's very juicy.
Yeah.
It's juicy.
But I'm here for it. I've had... Oh, okay. Dana has her sultry voice. Which last week she was like, I'm going to put out a Patreon episode. And I was like, well, can you use your voice? You know, that voice that everybody wants.
I didn't.
The sexy voice.
I don't know why that keeps happening. It's so funny because I, am on this like dating rampage, as you know.
Right. You're hoeing and...
Yeah, I'm on some hoe shit. It comes up, the podcast, right? Of course. Like, it's I just...
You're like, do you even know who I am?
I have a podcast. It's like, I know. It's corny. It's nothing.
She's fluttering her eyes.
Yeah. They're just like... And so then, of course, people, jump right to it.
Right.
And like... And I'm like, oh, check out this episode or that episode, whatever. Uh-huh. And they always are like, oh, your voice. And I'm like, I listen to it every week. I know what my voice sounds like. Y'all are fucking crazy. Like, I don't know why you're saying that. It's so weird. It's a very strange thing to say, but it keeps happening. And then you guys say it too. And it's like, I'm like, I don't know. I guess, fine, I guess.
Really, it's when you forget to do little notes and you decide to do your notes in the middle of the night with your raspiness.
Yeah, it's the raspy
and I was
voice.
like, where did that voice come from?
Well, so I'm like talking to people, right? And I was like talking to this girl on the phone, and I guess that when I'm feeling, I don't know if the word is flirtatious. I guess the word is flirtatious. We'll say that.
Okay.
And I like, no, stop doing that. Hate you so much.
Somebody sent us a message and they talked about they had podgasms listening to our episode, and I was just dying.
I fucking can't. But apparently, like, if I'm being flirtatious, my voice changes.
Yeah.
And so the girl,
it gets deeper.
Does that sultry voice, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, a little smoky.
I guess, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, you are like fucking fully transparent. Like I can see right through you. I'm like, that's embarrassing. Like that's like fully fucking embarrassing.
The ice queen.
Oh my God. I mean, I think we can say that we buried the ice queen. She's long gone. But speaking of dating, I met someone and went on a date a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to tell you guys about it because everybody's been sick and dying and all.
COVID and all.
Yeah. There's not a lot of queer people here. Let me just start by saying.
In the state?
In my like local area. Like if you go on these dating apps, you put like, how far are you willing to travel? 60 minutes. I'll do an hour. Like that's like.
Maybe they're all coupled.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's queer people, right? Like I have queer friends, but they all
Also, New Jersey's like the third most populated state or some shit.
Right, but where we live, I'm saying like here in this town, like in my area. So when someone popped up that was only 10 miles away, I was like, oh shit, right? Yeah. So I'm like talking to her and just vibing, like feeling it, like, oh, this is cool. Like she's funny.
She's self-deprecating. Cute. That usually means self-deprecating for Dana.
Well, like I was saying, like, just like chatting, like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I was folding laundry. And she was just like, I'm really proud of you. I'm like, oh my God, I love that. Like, she was cute and whatever. So then she was saying, she was like working some convention and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever. What do you do? And she's like telling me what she does. And then she was saying that she was eating at Margaritaville, which should have been my first clue that like,
she's not from
here. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was just like in my head, like, why the fuck would you eat at Margaritaville? That's weird. So then later she was like, I just got back to my room. And I'm like at your house? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, no, I'm staying at the Golden Nugget. And I'm like, where the fuck are you from then? Like, what the fuck, And she like sends back like ... I'm like, oh, fuck.
Great.
Yeah. So then anyway, she ended up being from Tennessee. And I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Like such a bummer, And she was like, do you like want to go on a date anyway and like just see what happens? And I'm like, yeah, I think that's I think that's a great idea.
Right.
So I set up a date. I'll pick you up. I'll take you to this place. And I went to the place I've been going to the drag show because the food's really good there. Brought a little blanket so we could like sit on the beach because it's like right there. And then we could like look at the stars.
How romantic.
And so I was going there to pick her up and I like texted her that, I'm downstairs, I'm outside. And she was like, just so you know, my location service is on if you're going to try anything. And I was like, I mean, that's good. Mine are too.
My location services are on, so if you're going to try anything.
So I screenshotted that and sent it to my best friend. I was like, she's like on one or whatever. We're walking on the board. You have to go on the boardwalk to get to the beach,
Right.
And so she's like, the Ferris wheel is there, and like,
I'm still on the location services.
the Ferris wheel is there, whatever. And she's like, oh, these people told me that I shouldn't, like, this is like the most dangerous part. Like, this is where I shouldn't be hanging out. I was like, girl, there's like 1,000 people here. I'm like, this is like the safest place you could possibly be. Like, and it was, how bright it is there. Like, right, off the boardwalk, and the rides are right there, and like everything, there was people like everywhere, and I was like, I think you're gonna be okay. I was like, my friends get really mad because I like follow girls into the woods and shit. I'm like, they'd actually probably be really proud that this is where I chose to die.
Right. You chose a very public area.
Very public. It was so public. I was like, I think you're good, actually. Like, this is pretty safe considering some of the fucking places I've followed girls in. But anyway, she's nice and she's fun.
And she's safe.
She's safe. She did not die.
No, not at your hands.
Not in my hands. I texted her and said, can I talk about you on the podcast?
Literally, Dana, a third of our listeners are people who have dated or slept with Dana.
Yeah. I'm trying to build listenership.
She's on that hoe game, building listenership. It's really God's work.
I'm trying to make it so you guys can quit your jobs. That's what I'm doing for you.
Yeah, she's a real missionary out there.
Actually, that's if you're listening, that's not what's happening. I promise. She is, in fact, listening. So
wow. It's so funny that you've been, out there dating. And, I wonder if some of these reviews and love that we've been getting are people that you've been dating. Did you date anybody in Kenya?
I did not.
Yeah, well, we have love from coming from Kenya. I'm not opposed
to it, though.
No, I mean, but that's a very long distance
It's a very long distance, yeah. Tennessee's far enough. Thanks so much, though.
Right. So we got some love from Kenya. Right? We mentioned that we had listeners in Kenya, and one of our listeners reached out, and her name is Carol, I guess. And she says, loved the episode. Like, I guess she gave us love for each of our episodes on TikTok and whatever. She's like, oh my dear, I do love your podcast. You know, that is an accent, right?
Yeah.
I am Carol, and then she says her last name from Kenya. We love you here too. Lots of O's. And she says, I love how you all sound. Makes me want to listen more.
That is, when Cindy screenshotted that and sent it to us, I like died. I was like, because we've been dying to know who is listening in Kenya. So it's nice to put a face to that.
Well, at least one of the listeners.
Well, at least one face, yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I hope it's just not her listening over and over and over again. I mean, that's cool, too, if you are. So we got another review, and it says, I have a crime to dine on. These gals have me hooked. Food, true crime, how could you go wrong? I'll tell you how you could go wrong. Missing out on the sweet, scantily clad morsels of facts presented with dinner, drinks, and dessert. Know what's for dessert? Me. Winky face. I'm kidding. I really don't know what I'm doing here. Who is this? Who is this?
That's the name right up top.
Courtney and Anna Banana. DM me. I'm interested in dessert.
Scantily clad facts. Is that like a dig?
No, I think it's
they were flirting. Hence the reason why I gave
a winky
it to
face.
That's why I gave it to Dana to read. There was a few other faces in between. There was a little devilish face in there and everything. Okay. Yes, they were flirting.
Who are they flirting with? Are they flirting with me?
The whole podcast.
Well, tell them to DM us. Let's go. Oh, go ahead.
Awesomely delightful. She says.
Absolutely delightful.
Oh, what did I say?
Awesomely.
All right. Old age and eyes. I started listening when they changed their name, and I absolutely love this show. They make you feel like you're at the best dinner with friends. I'm all caught up, and working my way through the archives. Kona, and then they were gone. That was from, I guess she has a podcast too.
Mm-hmm. Very popular podcast.
Awesome.
How about from Pokemon Gavin? Love these ladies. Definitely one of my favorite true crime podcasts. Great research and coverage of the crime, but with bonus banter and food. I look forward to each episode.
Bonus banter. I like that.
I like that too.
That's alliteration.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that.
I mean.
I love alliterations.
Yeah. All right, so I mean
we could sit here and
there's like a bunch, but I'm not gonna keep tooting our horns. But
even though I like tooting my horn, toot. It's the only tooting I like.
I mean, every once in a while I toot my horn. I don't make it a nightly thing. But. Speaking of. Oh wait, yeah, you do toot your horn.
I'm kidding.
You had somebody toot your horn recently.
I did.
Yeah, you have the birthday card next to you.
Yeah, my dad just sent, it was just really sweet, and it's not a big deal because
her very conservative dad.
Yeah, my dad is just like, whatever. And I have been tormenting him, okay? So he had me over for dinner for my birthday, which he does this every year, and he makes us chicken a la king, which many people don't know what this is. It's like uber white people food. It's like literally like a white gravy with like chicken and mushrooms and pimentos.
Did he serve it with a side of white bread with
white
butter?
Rice, actually. Okay. It's so good, and it's stupid, but we have it every year. Like, I have it on my birthday, my sister has it on hers.
Really?
And then we, get big containers, because he makes, a huge pot of it, and we take it home. It's just a weird little tradition.
That's so cute and white.
It's very white. It's very, very white. Sometimes he makes brown rice if he's feeling fancy.
Oh, my God.
Which I hate brown rice.
Is it like a pilaf?
No, it's like fucking 1 minute bag rice.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you'd hate it.
That's so sad.
It's so funny. So, I live to torment this man.
Yeah.
As you
guys are like the odd couple.
Yes.
Like Oscar and Felix.
Absolutely. So I said to him, on my birthday.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I've actually talked about it on the podcast. I know we've discussed it quite a bit on Patreon about my potential money-making situation.
Oh, your OnlyFans?
Yes. And so I was like texting everybody. But the night that I was at the birthday dinner, I was texting everybody to set up people to come by to get the foot massages. Anyway, foot massage OnlyFans. You're all caught up, basically. So my dad's like asking questions. And I was like, well, explaining to him like a little bit what OnlyFans was and like how I was thinking about making money.
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, initially... like, he's gonna fucking hate this. He's gonna
you were like, okay, he's not going to embrace this idea of mine.
And then he was like, do you want me to come by so you can massage my feet? And I was like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna have a shirt on probably, so I think that might be a bit much. And so he's like, wait, what? So I was like, I think we'll pass on you. But like my stepmom came and they were like fully supportive.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, okay, Dad, for the win.
Right.
And so then the other day I had a date that came here, a different date that came here, and she had left, and I really love to have my front door open, not like this. I have a screen door. I like to leave the screen door open, you know. It's just like it. I don't know. So I had been laying on the couch after the date and whatever, and I was just laying there watching TikTok, and I should have been writing my story, but I wasn't. And my dad fucking bangs on the door like he's the popo, which is two violations.
Right.
One, I don't like people stopping by unannounced. Two, why are you banging on the door?
Right.
Why are you being? What are you doing?
Right. Also, 3, don't you know that I live in my house naked?
I said, sir, you took a wild risk just showing up here. I could be naked. You were very lucky I'm not naked. And secondly, I was on a date earlier, and he was like, I know, I drove by the first time, and there was a car in your driveway with Delaware license plate. That's too far, just so you know. And I was like, first of all, settle the fuck down. And second of all, then I had to be like, I'm dating all of these people. I'm dating 3 people.
Right. And he was like, don't get pregnant.
So I had to explain to my dad that I'm like casually dating multiple people.
Right.
And he was just like, okay, all right. And I was like, wow, he's really like, I'm like trying to torment him, and he's really just taking all this.
Yeah.
So
I want whatever antidepressant he's on.
So he kept being like, oh, you have to come by and get your birthday card because he forgot to give it to me on my birthday.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not driving there to get a card. Like, who cares, you know? Yeah. And he's like, there's cash in it. I was like, well, bitch, what
Give
the fuck?
Me the cash.
Like, why didn't you tell me that before? I would have came and got it. And so anyway, he took my son out to dinner tonight, and he left the card here. So okay. I saw it when I got home. And it's just like a cute little card. It says, daughter, everyone loves you. It's so cute.
And it's rainbow.
Yeah, it's actually like almost color. Lesbian colors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what? It's the closest to lesbian colors that he could get.
Yeah.
And that just shows me that he was looking specifically for something like that.
Maybe.
As like a sign of support for you.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
So the card says, wish we could take some credit for how smart and strong and amazing you are, but you're your own kind of wonderful, and we're so proud. Fine.
He wrote that.
No, he didn't write that. That's the card.
Oh, okay.
So cute.
That's
Fine.
the card.
Beautiful. Which is funny because the other day when I was talking to him about like things that I was doing, he was like, yeah, I was a good dad. I was like such a good dad. Like I raised you so good. I'm like, I know, you're great. Anyway.
He is a good dad.
No, he is. So this is what he writes. I cannot express how proud we are of you as the woman you've become, and how very, very happy we are to see you living what appears to be your very best life. As you know, I'm always here for you. Love you so much, Dad and Terry. And I was like, you couldn't have said anything more kind to me.
Yeah.
Like, truly. Like, it was just really, really kind.
Yeah. Just the fact that Dana was a quitter.
Are you crying? No,
Cindy's fucking crying.
No, I'm not. I gave you a pouty lip.
Her eyes are all glazed.
Shut up.
It's nice because he and I...
You bump heads a lot.
We bump heads about a lot of things, and he really is trying to be... That's the one thing I have to say about my dad. He really does try. We don't see the world the same way. He thinks I am a fucking wild, liberal, lunatic lesbian. Like, he just thinks I'm out of my mind all the time.
And he's highly conservative. Honestly.
Fair point. But yeah, right. He's pretty conservative.
Right.
You know, he's very Republican. I grew up very religious. Like, he's just, but he really does try to, like, meet me where I am, which, like, is, I can't say for many, like, a lot of other people in my life. So, like, it was just really nice. I just thought it was so sweet.
Somewhere in between there. Dana, you used to be the type of person that quit everything, and this is almost year 3. In October, it'll be year 3 that we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, since we started dropping it.
Yeah.
Because, like, we started this podcast and I was still married and living at home, and
so many things have changed. Yes.
This month is year 3 for me of being out of my house. So, like, we started the podcast and I was still...
Yeah.
Yeah, this podcast was, like, right at the beginning of, like, a culmination of my whole life changing.
Yeah. I take credit for that.
I know you do. Thanks, Fran.
Anyway, another thing that I'm going to take credit for is this story. But first, we have to do dessert.
Yes, let's do it.
The hell are these?
It's a surprise.
Is it? Is this supposed to be a surprise?
What is it? There's nothing.
It's a brownie.
Inside a cupcake liner.
It's a brup cake.
A what?
It's a brup cake.
A brup cake?
It's a brownie cupcake.
Sure.
Can we have some ice cream? What's the surprise in this?
It's a hidden ingredient, just like in your story.
Fuck you. A hidden ingredient. Okay.
What is it? Tell me.
You're scaring me.
No, it's actually very healthy for you.
Oh my God, is it chickpeas?
No, I normally use zucchini, but I didn't this time. Actually, my wife made it. I gotta give her all the credit.
Oh, God damn it. What is it?
Avocado.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
So basically no fat. It's the avocado's all the fat.
Instead of, like, the egg and shit?
I think it replaces the egg.
This is like
And
a
the
vegan brownie.
No, there's eggs in this.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's not vegan. Sorry, guys. I know we have a couple vegans.
Yeah. Well, good.
This is very chocolatey.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, very into chocolate, like, crazily. I will finish this, but I'll have to take it
I don't
really
think
slow.
it's too sweet at all.
To me, it's too sweet.
Really? I like it because it almost has that raw texture. Like, it's so soft, it's, like, almost raw.
I'm surprised that you like that kind of texture.
I like it in a brownie. Isn't that weird?
You're just an enigma. No, I definitely like the texture of this brownie.
Yeah, I like the
because it's
texture,
very ooey gooey in the middle,
Right.
and then crusty on the
Yes.
outside, which is perfect.
It's that the top layer is very crunchy. I
Yeah.
really like that part.
It's
but
like
it's
you.
yeah,
Ooey gooey and crusty on the outside.
yeah, ooey gooey and crusty on the outside. Oh, like me, you bitch! I just got it.
Delayed response.
It's just very rich. So I'll eat the whole thing, but I'll have to take my time with it, which is perfect for desserts like that. I've always said that those kinds of desserts are perfect for a person who's dieting because you don't scarf it all down.
And honestly, there's not a lot of cocoa or chocolate in this, believe it or not.
Is it a mix or is it?
It's bittersweet chocolate, like 2 ounces of bittersweet chocolate among all of this, and a half a cup of cocoa powder.
I mean, it's not like a Duncan Hines or something.
No.
You like
from
made
scratch.
it? Wow.
Actually, she made it from scratch. I gotta give her all the credit because
Does she listen to this podcast?
You guys don't know. We're recording on a Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week.
Yeah.
And I just don't have time. And I was recovering for COVID, so I just couldn't do it.
Plus, we don't want your COVID germs all over our food anyway.
Trust me, you got all of them.
Wonderful.
I made the pork loins and all of that.
Yeah.
I seasoned it. And
I noticed that you covered the pork loin, but
What?
I still want to pick at it. I like the whole
can't
salty
stand
sweet
you.
thing, you know?
So you like avocado in your brownie? You do.
Yes, I have
think
to.
you do,
You know what?
yeah.
I had a piece of pork, so I was eating pork and brownie.
Yeah.
So I like that salty sweet
Salty
combination,
sweet.
and I finished it like in one bite.
Yeah.
well, Nydia yelled at me because I closed up the pan with the pork in it, and she was like, I need salty sweet. And
Yeah.
immediately made me reopen it.
You know what would have been really good with them?
Ice cream?
Well, yes, of course, but that's sweet.
Right.
Maybe like a really thick, like ruffled chip. Oh. You know what I mean? That would have been so good with those.
Oh my God.
Because they're like, the brownies was like soft and squishy.
Right.
So like a ruffled chip to like hold up the crunchiness and the saltiness to the soft and the sweetness of the brownie. Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yeah.
But they were good. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into avocado in my
Yeah. You know what this, I heard like there's avocado ice cream.
You ever had like the avocado bubble tea?
No.
Oh my God.
Really?
So like bubble tea is a little different than like boba. I think. Because like I was married to an Asian woman for a long time and we would get this bubble tea. It's like thick. It's like ice and avocado. And like maybe a little simple syrup and a bunch of big ass tapioca at the bottom.
Right.
Big, and you need a big fat straw. And it's real thick. But I've had like boba.
Right.
Which is like real boba. Watery. Yeah. And it's got that like plastic top on it. Not the same. Not as good as bubble tea, in my opinion.
Now, I've had, I remember calling it bubble tea.
Yeah.
But it was like a passion fruit tea.
Yeah.
It was kind of juicy and it was just liquid.
Yeah.
That was my first experience with it. And I just remember sipping on it and the little bubbles would pop into my mouth and just make me giggle.
Yeah, they're so good. I'm not like knocking boba.
But that's not bubble tea. That's boba.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it, but like what I've was like had before that we get at the Asian supermarket is like thick, like a smoothie. It's real thick. It's so good. And it's like literally like she puts like 4 avocados in it. You're just like, would you like to eat 4 avocados? They're like, yeah, if you blend them up, definitely.
Right.
Blend it up and put a little sugar in it. But it's so good. And they make like mango and strawberry, you know, all of them, whatever. But the first time I had like boba, I was like, what is this? This is not what I was looking for.
Right.
But it's good too. Like it's just different.
Yeah, no, I like boba. I've had boba.
Yeah, it's good. Not that that's what we're having, but
no, how
you know why we're
talking about that.
Girl, I don't know. I'm gonna drink this wine and listen to your story.
I'm Madam Chris.
And I'm Madam Amy.
And we're the hosts of the Madams Podcast, where it's all about movies, minus the mansplaining.
Every week, we discuss a film that fits into a quirky theme for the month.
And there's plenty of bonus content on our Patreon feed, too.
So if you're looking for commentary that'll make you laugh and think, you found your new favorite show.
New episodes of The Madams drop on Mondays, wherever you get your podcasts.
And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at The Madams Pod, or on our website, themadamspod.com.
I got my story from the New York Post and from crimeonline.com. And like I said before, this was a listener suggested story. Thanks, Emma, for putting these new nightmares into my mind.
Oh, great.
This is actually a show, and I'll tell you what the show is. So I'm going to start the story.
Okay.
Because I think the title of the show gives away the story.
Okay.
James and Brittany Campbell of Honolulu, Hawaii, had been on vacation with their 2 young sons for about a week. When it came time to return, the airline offered them an earlier flight, and they took that.
Okay.
As they turn into their home, they spot something out of the ordinary. Most of us come back from vacation and the worst thing we find is spoiled milk in the refrigerator, some overripe bananas we left, and maybe some dead house plants that we forgot to water. You know, that's usually the extent of it, right? But the Campbells came home to a personal nightmare that might change how safe you feel at home.
Oh, no.
So on September 20th, 2019, not that long ago.
This is rude.
Yeah. They turn into their driveway and they see that his expensive bike is sitting outside.
Okay.
So Brittany asks her husband if maybe he lent it to the neighbor. And James is like, no, that's not the case. And they go to unlock the door and tell their neighbor off later because clearly he must have taken it out without asking. As James unlocks the door and goes to pull it open, someone on the inside of the house is holding the door back and saying, "Leave. This is not your house," in an eerily calm voice.
What the fuck?
There was a strange young man inside their home. Quickly, James told his wife and kids to get in the car and call 911. Brittany gets in the car. She gets the kids in the car.
Yeah.
And she calls 911 and proceeds to record her husband, who now has the garage door open and has grabbed a sledgehammer out of the garage.
Oh, my God.
And he proceeds to pull the stranger out of the house and onto the lawn.
No.
Your cat is like reacting to every word. So the dude was wearing James's shorts.
Oh, fuck.
And everything. Okay. Could you imagine?
No.
You come home, there's a fucking dude inside your house.
I hate this story.
That's a lot.
You know how I feel.
And he's wearing your fucking clothes.
Oh, God, I hope he's not.
Ugh. So this young man turned out to be 23-year-old Ezekiel Zayas of Bridgeport, Connecticut. How he ended up in Honolulu, who knows? But honestly...
Wait, they lived in Honolulu?
Yeah, this was in Hawaii. I started out with Honolulu, Hawaii.
I know, I thought they were vacationing in Honolulu.
No, they were on vacation and returned to their house.
Gotcha, okay, gotcha.
How he ended up in Honolulu, who knows?
Yeah.
But honestly, it looked like he was doing like his own version of Eat, Pray, Love.
Love that for him.
And I wish I had the balls to do that.
Yeah, me too, man.
So Ezekiel was doing a very naughty thing that's strangely called phrogging.
Phrogging.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, but I did see in our Google Drive something about phrogging. I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yes. So the term comes from frogs who jump from pad to pad.
Oh.
And except these people stay put and hide in crevices of your home.
No, these fucks.
So it should be called mousing or ratting.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm covering a story about a creeper in your home.
No.
Living there without your knowledge.
No, motherfucker.
Yes, motherfucker.
He's not a ghost?
He's not a ghost.
Oh my God.
So these people sneak in and live in your home without you knowing they're there.
I hate this.
I hate this.
You know, to my crawl space ceiling, attic? My attic, the little door on the ceiling.
Your crawl space ceiling? Okay. Welcome to Earth, Dana.
Sorry, I've been drinking. The door, always has a little bit open on the ceiling, and I'm always I'll be sitting on the couch, and I'm like, was it open that much earlier?
Uh-huh.
Why is it open that much?
That's your intruder.
Someone's in there? Is someone not in there? Someone's definitely left there.
Well, when I tell you what happened...
Oh, God.
You're going to definitely look at every little corner of your house.
All right, great.
And so are you, listener. You know what? Natalie did a little bit of phrogging when she was little.
Did she?
She did.
Well,
I used to work night shift.
Yeah.
And I sleep during the day, but she was 3 years old, you know? So I would have to nap, and she would stay up, watching television or something very, very bad.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Was it late 90s? What do you want?
I fell asleep, and I wasn't intending on falling asleep, but I just fell asleep. And when I woke up, she wasn't there.
Oh, fuck.
So I had to call the police, and we were they did a search for her and everything.
Oh, my God.
It turns out that she had been hiding in the neighbor's house in their closet.
Oh.
And the day before, their son had just turned 4. So she's hiding in the closet, and the little boy is aware of her being in the closet, and she's asking him for cake from the birthday. And he's feeding her cake in the closet, but she's like, don't tell your mom that I'm here.
Oh,
And so the little
God.
boy sees the police, and the police are they had search dogs and everything. It was fucking crazy. And it was really one of the craziest things. And they're searching the apartments. They're going from door to door knocking. Have you seen this little girl? She's dressed like this or whatever.
My God.
And she didn't have any shoes on. She had underwear. She was in her underwear. No shoes and a little tank top.
Oh my God.
So they go to the lady's house, and she's like, no, I haven't seen. No. Yeah. Absolutely. I would notice if there was a 3-year-old in my house, right? Only the little boy was hiding her. And so a little while after, the little boy started to sense the concern, you know? And he goes to his mom. He's like, yeah, she's in our closet.
Oh,
and so,
God.
It was a happy ending. I mean, I was just like, they were looking in the wooded area of my house.
Jesus Christ, Nydia.
There, they were searching with the dogs and everything. I was just like,
my fucking God.
So anyway, so she was trying to frog up in that house. And I really can't blame her because in high school, I did some frogging too. Yeah. I used to do it in the lockers. There was like these hollowed out, like a whole wall of hollowed out lockers that were like false lockers.
What?
Yeah, so they were like lockers, but they didn't open.
Okay.
Like they were just hollowed out all the way through.
Okay, decorative?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was just hollowed out lockers, and I would hide in there and eat candy and like skip school in those lockers and listen to people talking shit in the hallway. So I always had insider information, and I would just like all day long just be in there and skip school in there.
This is so
and play like my Game Boy or whatever the fucking little electronic gaming thing.
It's very interesting insight into you.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm a frogger.
It's we have an episode. We're going to be doing a crossover episode with Twisted and Uncorked coming up here any week now, I think. And we were talking. I was talking on that episode about how I have this little boy that keeps like breaking into my house.
Oh my God! Now that's your Frogger right there.
Yeah, there's like a little Frogger that this little kid keeps saying this is not now since we don't have the construction here, but he was like telling the contractors that he lived here,
and yet you still keep your door open.
I mean, like.
He's a creepy little boy.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I need to like find his parents or something. But yeah. Anyway, he is a strange fellow, though.
Yeah,
little strange boy.
Sometimes people do this, obviously, because the person is either unhomed or sometimes, like in the case of the Campbells, the person is mentally ill.
Okay.
So the police come and arrest Ezekiel.
Okay. When
the Campbells enter their home, what they find belongs in the 10th circle of Dante's hell.
Oh, shit.
You know, because there's 9. Yeah. But this would be the 10th. First of all, their house is trashed. All their stuff was just everywhere in every room. And while that's disturbing in an inconvenient, what did he break, steal, or fuck with kind of way, the real nightmare was what they found on their laptops.
Oh, no.
Turns out Ezekiel had recorded a series of vlogs.
Okay.
So for those of you that don't understand what a vlog, it's a video log.
Right.
Okay.
A video blog.
Like a video blog, yeah. So he's like keeping a little video diary.
Yeah.
About the Campbell family.
Oh. What?
And he did this while sitting in their chair nude.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yes. Which she was just like, out of everything that he did, and there was so many things that he did, this was what shocked her most.
That he was naked
Brittany
in her chair.
Campbell,
oh my God.
That he had been sitting in her chair buck naked. And possibly had some ass juice on her chair.
Oh, he definitely did.
Gross. And that's when they realized this dude had been living with them, hiding in their attic like a raccoon for quite some time.
Really?
Yeah. Enough time to have written a whole ass manifesto called The Omnivore Trials, a rehabilitation for rat-like people.
No.
Which I gotta be honest, this title would have piqued my interest.
My interest is certainly piqued.
Right. So, as Brittany Campbell, the wife, is reading this clickbaity title, she looks over and next to the computer, there's a series of lined up knives that had been carefully laid out. You see, Ezekiel Sayers had a fantasy, and that fantasy involved a Dr. Frankenstein series of DIY home surgeries to turn the Campbells from rat people into perfect Ezekiels.
Wow.
The surgical techniques he was looking to perform included a hand transplant because to Ezekiel, Brittany's hands seemed like pink chicken flesh. He also wanted a sexual reassignment surgery on the couple and anal reconstruction.
That's interesting.
Yeah, anal reconstruction.
That's interesting. That's an interesting choice.
Did he watch some butt action while he was in the freaking attic?
I mean, he had to be on some other shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he was the one that was going to perform these surgeries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like trying to order. He said he needed, like, he had a list of like things that he would need for the surgeries. Like, he needed to get, anesthetics. He needed to get a surgical equipment, a gurney, things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like looking to purchase these things.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He had made a list of supplies needed for the surgeries and also made medication for them out of his own bodily fluids.
Fuck.
His own bodily fluids.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Like what? Put him in like capsules or something?
I don't know. You think Dimetap is bad? Oh, remember getting force-fed Dimetap?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Ugh.
I like the bubblegum, like amoxicillin. I always like that.
Yeah, but you can add bubblegum flavor all you want to his bodily fluids.
Yeah,
It's not going to change it.
Oh, that's really unpleasant sounding.
Suddenly, a lot of what the family had been blowing off as, must have been the wind that left that door opened, or, I must have misplaced my things, or maybe the kids ate it, and they're just lying. All of a sudden, it came very clear that it had been him, right? So think about it. It's a busy household.
How long?
They don't know how long. But think about it. If it's a busy household, do you check in with each other on some things? Like, no. You just take it at face value, right? Yeah. Like one time during Ezekiel's stay with the Campbells, he had written a passive-aggressive note to the family about cleaning up.
No.
Yes. So apparently he thought they were like too messy for his own liking.
Rat people.
Right, they're rat people, right? So the husband, James, thought that it was written by his wife, Brittany, and like a passive aggressive, like, hey, clean up, after yourself. But it was him. So he cleaned up and he didn't confront Brittany about it. So Ezekiel wasn't discovered. But it was Ezekiel writing.
You don't know what your wife's handwriting looks like?
Come on, guys don't fucking pay attention to that shit.
I don't know about guys.
You're talking about guys. So
I don't know my wife's handwriting.
I guess like my ex and I, we had like kind of unique handwriting, so like really? I wouldn't absolutely know if she wrote something.
I can't say that I would know because Russ doesn't leave me like notes. You know what I mean? If anything, we'll text each other. So
sure, right? Yeah, good point.
When food went missing, they just assumed another family member ate it.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
And at one point, Brittany even thought the house was haunted. You know.
I mean, obviously, ghost.
I mean, yeah.
Ghost over intruder every time.
Honestly. And which one is more fucking likely? Come on.
Ghost, obviously.
But the last thing on their mind was a parasitic type of situation like the Frogger they had living in their attic.
That's so funny.
And this suddenly made their blood in their veins turn cold because they were just like, fuck, we didn't know this was happening, you know?
Yeah, man.
So as Brittany and James explored their house, they uncovered that Ezekiel had been wearing both James and Brittany's clothes. And their entire house was trashed except for the boys' room, which had been cleaned thoroughly. I'm talking mopped floors, made beds. He even washed and folded their laundry.
I'm not sure why that is more unpleasant to me.
Well,
like, like him going through all of their things and touching them and cleaning them and being like really meticulous.
No, he just did that for the little boys.
That's what I'm saying. Like that makes that little bit of it makes it even more unpleasant.
In what way? For you?
Like,
what are you
why
thinking?
are you cleaning the little kids' stuff? Like,
why does that trigger you?
Well, one, it's like, why? What is
the attraction to the kids?
Yeah, like why are you? Why? It feels almost like tender and caring, and like the violence was towards the parent. Like his violent thoughts or processes was like towards the parent. It doesn't sound like he's saying he wants to have sex assignment.
Right,
surgery
like,
to the kids,
like
or he wants to
change the kids,
right, or be violent towards the kids.
Yeah, I felt like it was kind of judgy. Like, you're not taking care of these kids properly, you rat people.
Yeah,
you know, maybe he thought they were messy.
When someone like kidnaps a kid or something, and like, you know, it's just like sinister. It just feels a little.
You feel
more,
like it's grooming or something.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know if it's grooming or if it's like. Just like, I'm going to take over your life. I'm going to be the parent and I'm going to get rid of you type of situation. Like,
well, yeah, you might be onto something.
Okay.
All right. So it turns out that he had met the boys before.
Oh, fuck.
One day he went out to the front door and the boys opened the door and spoke with him. Like, he was like, are your parents home? And they were like, oh, they're in the other room. Or, you know what I'm saying? And he got, like, a sense of talking to the boys, you know? So I guess in his twisted mind, he was looking out for the boys, I think.
How old are the kids? They're young,
They're
right?
young. They're little kids, you know? So in the manifesto, he had written about taking care of the boys like he was stepping into James's role.
See, shit.
Yeah. He had also written about their infertility problems, which instantly told the Campbells that he had definitely been listening to their private conversation and intimate moments because they had never told anybody.
Fuck.
And ew.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's super personal.
Ugh. After Ezekiel was arrested, Brittany Campbell did some Google searching, and she found out that he had worked as a web designer and had come to Hawaii all the way from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Ezekiel was charged with burglary and later released. Soon after his release, though, he was arrested again for vandalizing a Buddhist temple.
Shit.
So while he was in jail the second time for the second crime in 2020, he attacked and killed his bunkmate, 62-year-old Vance Grace.
Shit.
He was charged with murder in the first and second degrees in the fall of 2020 and pleaded not guilty. And he was deemed by the courts as unfit to proceed and was sent to a facility equipped to deal with inmates with mental disorders.
Yeah.
The whole ordeal proved to the Campbells that it was just a matter of time before he would have killed them.
Yeah.
And this messed with them psychologically. The sense of security was so bad that they never felt safe in their home again and eventually moved out.
Yeah.
I believe Ezekiel was a regular kid who had a mental break.
Yeah.
I mean, he was at that age where...
He's young, right?
Yeah, he's 23. Yeah, and it's at that age where mental illness sometimes pokes its ugly head, right?
Right, yeah.
And prior to the whole Campbell's Phrogging incident, he had been a young man with hopes and dreams. So let me tell you a little bit about Ezekiel.
Okay.
All right? He was an aspiring rapper who liked to smoke and cook with weed. Can you hate him for
make
that?
edibles?
Yeah, he made
Nice,
edibles.
okay.
He liked to smoke weed or whatever. He was a dog owner. I think he had like a French bulldog or something.
Okay.
He was crafty and artistic and enjoyed making beautiful DIY gravity bongs. He liked Disney films and enjoyed the different representations of characters getting high.
He sounds like delightful.
Yeah, he really was. I mean, I hate to say it like the juxtaposition, you know what I mean? But he was a kid that had a bright future and then had a mental
illness is like nothing to fuck with.
No,
truly.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
He liked to cook, and like all of us, he saved recipes to try out someday.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. He had an eye for design and enjoyed nice things and taking pictures of nice things and traveling and things like that. Bottom line is, he had a vision of what his future life would be at one point. He even had a relatable bucket list, which included things such as bathing in chocolate, bathing nude on a beach, and having a secret room behind a bookshelf in his house. And honestly, 1 out of 3 accomplishments isn't that bad.
That's not funny.
And that's my Phrogging story. She brought this up to me because there's a show on Lifetime called Phrogging, Hider in My House. And it's a whole series of these types of stories.
Oh, shit, really?
Yes. This happens a lot.
No.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. Emma, why? Why, Emma?
So now, you know how like after Psycho, everybody was like checking behind their shower curtains and shit. Now you have other places to check too.
Perfect.
So that's my story.
It's sad because he just sounds like a regular old kid that...
I mean, he was.
Yeah, like that could be anybody's kid.
Yeah, he was.
So he went to jail, or he went to a mental health facility. Yeah. I wonder if he'll get out.
I don't think so.
Sometimes if you get like on the right medication and stuff, like you can get, but then he might be charged for the crime.
He would get out to go to jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks so bad.
He's a danger to himself and others.
If he's unwell, right?
If he's unmedicated.
Yeah. So that sucks.
Uh-huh.
Damn. And in Hawaii, nonetheless.
Yeah, but that... Yeah, I mean, I was like, how did he make it to Hawaii?
Yeah,
then,
right.
You know, but like...
Well, if he's like a little stoner that like bopped his way over to Hawaii. Like, that's like, you know, like it seems like a fun and cool thing to do.
Exactly. But that whole fucking secret bookcase to hide behind.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I mean, how many of us like would love to have a bookcase?
A little place to hide, a little hidey hole.
Yeah, a little hidey hole. Or like a little thing, like to have a bookshelf with like the ladder and you like, you know, pull the door open and there's like another room behind
Honestly,
it.
though, an attic in Hawaii has got to be so sweltering.
Hot as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So hot.
Ugh.
So hot.
I wonder he was naked.
Can't be helping with the mental illness.
No.
Because I feel out of my mind when I'm too hot.
Really? I like it.
I mean, I don't mind being warm or whatever, but like...
I like it. I like being really hot. Mm. That's it for us. We'll see you next week, but in the meantime, you can subscribe so you don't miss out on those great episodes we do on Patreon. No, wait, on here. On here,
just the regular old free ones.
Yeah, exactly. But if you don't like your money and you want to separate from it, we have merch. We have Patreon. We have Buy Me a Coffee. We have all of those ways that you could support us so Dana doesn't have to go into the sex trade with OnlyFans.
I mean, I think I'm going to do it anyway, but you should still send us your money.
Right. If you can't and you're broke, you know, because we are in a recession, write a review and share with someone.
Yeah, and maybe we'll read it on the show.
Dana's therapist told her that somebody told her about our show. And Dana's just, her head is so too big for a hat now.
I was like, that can't be right.
So anyway, you can connect with us on all of the social medias. We're everywhere. Check you out next week. And remember, do not get taken to the second location. Be good or be good at hiding a body. Cheers.
Cheers.
Are you okay? Jesus Christ. You're so fucking loud.
You're disgusting and I hate you both.
Oh, God. I'm crying. Oh, my God. And holding my pee because I almost fucking peed myself.